There we go. And whoever can kick it off.
We just lost someone, but Carol, do you want to start with intros on your side and we can go from there?
Happy to. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in our morning in the US and at the end of the workday in Kenya. I'm Carol Patrikakos, Executive Director, Friends of Gong Road, joined by my colleagues, Naomi, Calvin, and Nora, who will introduce themselves.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kelvin Duku. I'm the Program Director at Ngong Road Children's Foundation here in Nairobi. Naomi.
Hi, everyone. I am Naomi Mizwa. I am the Donor Relations Associate here at Friends of Gong Road. And I'm also doing technology, so bear with me. Hopefully it all goes well.
And Nora?
Hi everyone, my name is Nora. I am the Senior Case Manager at Global Student Foundation.
Back to you, Leah.
Great, thanks, Carol. My name is Leah Barr. I am here on behalf of the Arrow Giving Foundation, and we have two sets of groups I want to introduce you to this morning. The first are our Ashby educators, Megan and Josie. I'll let you introduce yourselves right away this morning.
I'm Josie Kofod. I'm a fourth grade teacher here, and I got to be a part of this Ashby-Nairobi project.
Good morning. I am Megan Peterson, fourth grade teacher in Ashby as well.
Thank you. I also have with me the Arrow Giving Foundation Board of Directors. Lucinda Nelson is on the line, but is unable to come off mute or video. She is with us from afar today, so wanted to make sure we recognize Lucinda is with us this morning. Tracy, I'd love if you wouldn't mind starting with an intro, and we'll move to Donnie and Robin from there.
Sure, sounds great. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening. Tracy Nelson. I'm on the board, and I'm so excited for this conversation. So thanks for the time.
Hi, I'm Robin Braun, Donnie Braun's wife, and I am on the board with Arrow Giving.
Same, Donnie Braun. We come together from our home out in Ham Lake bright and early this morning. So thank you guys for making the time. Just appreciate all you guys do.
Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to introduce you to Rob Nelson, the president of the Arrow Giving Foundation. Rob, I'll have you introduce yourself, and then we'll jump into a little bit of a background on the partnership, just hearing from you.
Sounds great. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for making the time. Thanks for actually all the work that's gone on over the last number of months. As Leah mentioned, my name is Rob Nelson. I'm with the rest of the crew here on the Arrow Giving. I also play a role with the Ashby Legacy Fund, which is our community fund out of my hometown of Ashby. And you know, for our Ashby Legacy Fund and the work that we do out of Ashby, as we work with students in the town of Ashby, Josie, Megan, you guys know this, that our goal is to play a role with the children and the youth in Ashby to help to raise expectations, help them get a bigger, better understanding of the world. Ultimately, for all the kids that are part of, we have a broad-based scholarship program from grades 1 through 12, is to help students at a young age realize that they have unlimited potential. And I've been involved with Ngong Road, I think I know I've been involved with Ngong Road since the first year. I've been a sponsor, I believe, since the first year of inception. The team can tell me how long Ngong Road's been around, but it's been around for quite some time. But as I look at Ngong Road and everything that they do as an organization, I feel like there's a very similar set of expectations of what they're trying to accomplish with students. Now, maybe there's also, in addition to that, it's providing a critical level of support for students and youth at an important time in their life as them and their families maybe need some help, but it's also that opportunity to get a bigger and better understanding of the world. And so as we were coming together here a while ago, thinking about what we wanted to do for programming for Ashby and Ashby youth, and also trying to find creative ways to continue to help advance the mission for Ngong Road. We felt like this could be the possibility of marrying two special communities together to hopefully form something special. So I'm excited to hear the feedback. From my standpoint, I want to know what's going well. I want to know if I'm sure there's areas for opportunity for this next school year. But the vision for the program is a lot of that, is to help to play a role to open the eyes for youth that there's a bigger, better world, especially as third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders, and beyond, as you're at that point in time in your school age, the expectations are being set. And we wanted to have the opportunity to set up a program that could allow young youth to learn across cultures, to build lifelong relationships. What I'm hoping today is that we'll find that this program had a level of success in its first year. Of course, that's completely because of all of you. This would not be possible with all of the people that are on this call today. The work, the effort, obviously this hadn't been done before, so this is a first shot. But you guys had to really put it together on the fly, and we recognize that. As we move forward, our hope for what's next would be is to come into next year and do it all over again with the next fourth grade class, if it was worthwhile. In a bigger picture, our hope would also be is that this class of fourth graders that experience this with fellow students in Africa, that journey would continue. That the fifth graders would continue to know each other, and as they go into fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, and we would continue to support the Ngong Road students all the way until they're seniors and beyond. Big picture would be is that, these kids get to know each other and graduate together, to build relationships, to meet each other in person, and continue to foster that. So, and take these learnings on their next leg of the journey as they continue to grow up and find their own careers. And hopefully there will be an opportunity for them to give back. So we've been excited to hear how this has gone. We definitely want to continue to advance the program. I'm hoping that you all do too. But I just wanted to say thank you again for everything that you've done to get it to this point, and having this come to life. Leah, is there anything else that you want me to hit upon?
No, that was great. Thank you, Rob.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. As Rob stated, it was really Arrow's goal to find creative ways to advance the education of both of these communities. So we wanted to take a moment and just ground you all in the curriculum that was deployed throughout this first year's pilot. And on behalf of our Ashby students, Megan and Josie will be sharing a little bit more about that education specifically before we jump into some recap and observations. So Megan, Josie, I'll let you take it away to share about the details on the curriculum.
So basically, we just came up with something pretty basic, where our students shared with their students, like, what do we do in a school day? Or what does our school look like versus maybe what their school looks like? And it was kind of interesting because a lot of my students were like, well, why are we telling them this, assuming that their school is the same? So we talked a lot about school. Megan, if you would like to continue.
Yeah, and we initially started with more of a group thing on our end. They worked as small groups, and then we kind of gradually released it into more individual, like more of a pen pal kind of thing by the end of the year, which worked out really well. They loved to get information from Nairobi, and then they worked really hard sending really good information back. So yeah, they learned where, from anything from where are the people that we're talking to, where do they live, and then we also shared where Ashby is, just kind of opening their eyes to exactly what Josie just said. Like they did kind of assume, like, well, they know, and we had to really talk a lot about that, they talk like they have no idea. So you really need to explain what the differences are doing that. So started with just kind of basic life. Where are we on the map? Dove into school, and then what do they like to do for fun? So we have identified some more topics for next year to continue getting into their family. What's their family structure like? What holidays do they celebrate? And then kind of that weather overall.
Yeah, thank you both. Carol, do you have anything else to add on that front? I know you had a volunteer that was an integral part of creating some of this curriculum. So just want to make sure you have a chance to speak on that too.
Thanks. Yes, Leah Switzer was involved in writing the curriculum, and she's offered to continue to volunteer to develop the curriculum year over year. And she has experience having taught school in Nairobi and being involved with our program from inception.
Great. As just an additional way to bring this partnership to life, we wanted to showcase a little video that was put together by the TechMates program. So we'll queue up that video for you so you can see in a more tangible way how this program made a difference.
Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it, okay?
My name is Steven. I am in grade 4 and I learn in a school called Nelson Mandela. I've learned you guys that you speak one language, which is English, but here in Kenya we speak two language, which is English and Kiswahili. Thank you for talking with us.
My name is Noah. The neatest thing about this experience was I got to meet someone from a different country. Thank you for all calling us. I will remember I always have friends in Kenya.
Hi, my name is Amazing. I'm 10 years old. I'm in grade 5. What I've learned from Ashby kids is that they have specific weather seasons like winter, summer, and spring, but in Kenya we have prolonged weather season. Thank you for talking to us. You will always be in my mind.
Gunnar Johnson, thank you for teaching me about your town. I have learned about your school. I will always remember the capital of Kenya.
My name is Sarah. I am in grade 5. I am 11 years old. The experience has been fine. The things that I have learned about you is that you eat different foods like pasta, and as in Kenya we eat foods like githeri, which is a mixture of maize and beans.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. I will always remember the times when we wrote letters together. The neatest thing about this experience was talking to you guys in a different country. Thank you for having time with us.
This peer-to-peer communication model is very interesting for our students because they acquired an understanding of what life is like for rural students in Minnesota. This successful pilot will hopefully help us attract new partners who will fund groups of students to enter our program and also have similar opportunities.
Thank you for everyone who made our culture share possible.
Great. Thank you, Naomi, for sharing. Carol, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. That enjoyable video was made in Nairobi at our foundation by our tech mates, who are young adults pursuing careers in tech and are available to do remote tech work. And they produce all of our media. They maintain our website and help even with processing data in our foundation. So very talented group of young people who are continuously learning new skills. We're going to invite the teachers and Nora, our program coordinator in Nairobi, to share their observations about how this benefited the students. Nora, would you please share first?
Okay, thank you. So overall, the exchange to the students was a very valuable experience, as I can see. it provided like an opportunity for a cultural exchange between our students and the Ashby students. So it was a learning experience beyond the classroom. It also allowed us as an organization to broaden our students' horizons, to let them have a global understanding of how other children from another place in the world live and how they go to school, what they dress, how if they go to school with uniform, how they get to school if they use bus or public transport. So it was a very exciting experience for our students, and they were usually very excited. Whenever I had to call them for the calls or for the videos, they usually embrace it wholeheartedly. Yeah, so it was a very good learning experience, and I can tell you for sure the students had always have a great time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nora. And our Ashby teachers?
Overall, my students thought it was a really great experience, and I thought it was a great experience for them. It was really interesting to see how their perspective changed throughout this whole thing. Because like I said at the beginning, they just weren't understanding, like, why are we sharing these things with them, assuming don't they do the same thing? Like if they're in fourth grade, aren't they doing the same fourth grade things that we're doing? And along the way, everything changed for them. So that was super awesome to see how their perspectives changed on everything so quickly. And we only did a few things together, but they were very impactful, you could tell. And by the end of it, they were asking, are we going to continue doing this, or are we even going to come visit them, you know? So clearly it's something that they enjoyed enough to want to continue doing it and to want to continue learning, because they didn't realize all the things that they didn't know about it. So that was really fun for me to see their growth in understanding that Ashby's not the only place there is, and it is so different, but you just have to branch out a little bit to know that.
Yep, and I will second that. We saw huge changes in them from the beginning of the year to the end, just kind of in opening their eyes to what else is out there in the world. Definitely that global perspective that has been mentioned multiple times was really neat to see. They were so excited to get letters, and I think it was even neater as they started to get more of that personal one-on-one connection. I wouldn't be surprised if they're planning trips. They were like, are we going to go there when we're seniors? I'm like, I don't know. That would be amazing. We'll see you guys. But yes, they loved it. They looked forward to getting the correspondence every time. And they really took it seriously and did a really good job composing their letters or making their slideshows or videos, or they really did a nice job. So thank you everyone for your time and work on it. That video was awesome. I'm like tearing up a little bit seeing them again, but it was really cool.
Did the students give us a sense of connectivity? Were they able to get to know each other at all? I mean, I know that this was, this is the first time of taking a shot at this, but when you think about using and leveraging technology, either sending videos or using Zoom or so on, were they able to form relationships?
I think so. And I think just this initial experience allowed us to see how we could do things differently. So I think I would want to get them connected. That in-person kind of live thing is really, really powerful. They love the letters and they loved writing back and forth, but to get to sit face to face with someone and talk to them kind of, I think, would be the next step. So even if we couldn't do it at the same time, like synchronously, I think there are ways that we could do it asynchronously where they could, at least hear the person on the other side. We did have a little bit of some technical difficulties at our end of the year celebration. It was a little bit hard to hear, but they still just, being in the same virtual space together was pretty special.
Cool. Well, I wonder if maybe you guys did this, if there's opportunities to set up like partners where they can do a one-on-one or exchange messages or something like that, where there is some kind of course, it'd be some version of structure, but the ability to do a little bit more back and forth. But that's great.
Yeah, I would love that.
Thanks for your questions. I'll address what we're looking at in 2025. We already have the second year of curriculum proposed by Leah, and we can certainly brainstorm prior to the school year about incorporating different elements, whether that's some one-on-one exchange, whether that's virtual reality headsets where the kids are making videos about their own environments. We'll definitely create room for everyone's input around that. The intent is certainly to have this group of children in Nairobi and in Ashby continue to get to know each other, to share about their own life experience. And what we all saw is that they're expanding their sense of cultural relativity. Many of these students may not have traveled far beyond their hometowns, both Nairobi and Ashby. And so to see them start to incorporate, oh, so elsewhere in the world, people simply do things very differently, and that's their normal, is really, really rewarding at this very young age. So we will continue to have them communicate year over year. Personally, for us, the reason this pilot was so impactful and inspiring is because this is a new model for us. We are a child sponsorship organization, and typically our students enter the program when they've obtained one sponsor from the United States who pays for their education, of which Arrow Foundation is a long-term sponsor in our program. So the other children in our program are communicating with their individual sponsor via a portal with messaging and video capabilities. This was the first time that we had a group of students join our program who were sponsored by a foundation, in this case, the Robert and Artist James Foundation. And so we were able to offer this group of students this unique experience because we had the Ashby teachers and classroom to leverage. Whereas otherwise, these students would have entered our program and not been able to have a personal interaction. So this brought a great deal of value, and it will help us evolve our own sponsorship model and move towards our strategic goal of course, onboarding more children into the Gong Road Children's Foundation at grade 3. So it will allow us to hopefully attract other family foundations or churches or organizational sponsors of small or large groups of students who can continue to benefit from something unique like this. So we'd love to take your questions.
I have some questions and thoughts. One, Josie, Megan, no problem if you haven't thought through this, but what's your intentions for handoff to the 5th grade teachers? So as you're our guinea pigs here a little bit for both sides, all teachers. So as you think about now, these students and 5th graders are going to continue to know each other, and helping the 5th grade teacher, one of our top things that we were reluctant here on is nervous about the impact on teachers and giving them a bunch of work, and having this be disruptive. It's what it sounds like the feedback you're giving is that this was productive for education and for using it as a tool for the students. And if that's the case, I know with John and the administration in Ashby, maybe it's the same thing in Kenya, but it's making sure that they understand what the intention is, that they're clear about it. We're willing to play any role necessary to continue to have a conversation with the administration. But as you think about handing this off to the 5th graders, and then the 5th grade teacher handing it off to the 6th grade teacher, and then the 6th grade teacher handing it off to the 7th, Carol, you can kind of see where we're going with this. You can think about what this looks like when we have 6 classes happening at the same time across the school. How special would that be? From our perspective, if you guys continue to be comfortable with this as we're advancing, we've got the 4th graders coming in, then we've got the 5th graders. But I guess I want to make sure that everybody's thinking of it that way. And then thoughts about handing this off from one grade to the next.
Yes, we don't have like a super solid plan of how this looks, but for us in Ashby, it's nice because we just have to hand it off to one teacher, and then that one teacher would take it on for the next few years, because in 5th grade, they are a middle schooler. So it would be probably with their English teacher is kind of where we were thinking, but it would be one teacher there in middle school for, the next few years. So I know we had initially the high school English teacher kind of involved in planning, and then she kind of stepped off as it kind of appeared like it was just going to be more of a 4th grade focus for now, at least. So I know she's on board, but kind of that in between, how do we get them from 4th grade to her we do need to do some planning, but I know that John is on board and really strongly believes in keeping this group connected and building on the experience too. So.
Great. Carol, how do you feel about that? Are you okay with that direction?
I think that's great for continuity, that we'll have the same teacher in Ashby for the next 3 years. And that way Nora and that teacher can continue to align around curriculum and execution. So that's perfect for us.
Wonder if there's an opportunity now that there's something here as to, you know, for the team to come together and maybe kind of set a minimum, kind of that minimum expectations of what it looks like. So there's consistency across classes where here's the frequency, the kind of the expected frequency of contact. Here are the, you know, we expect that once every other month or once a month that there is a collective class Zoom meeting, or, you know, something. There's a, so that there is, when there is 4 classes up and running, that that the kids are experiencing something consistent, where from one teacher to another teacher, it's not dramatically different as you move forward. But yeah, this is exciting. Actually, we were brainstorming as a group about how we could continue to support it. And some of the ideas that were floated were, is like, you get to a senior and that's the Ashby senior class trip, is going to meet all the students in Africa. But we'll take that one step at a time. But we do love the all right, we've got a couple chaperones already signed up. Excellent.
Yeah, we're all in favor of that. Let's do it.
Sounds better than Mount Rushmore, huh?
Good. Sorry, I was jumping in here. Other questions from the crew?
So
Anything
on behalf of the teachers, sorry, I just really wanted to ask, I had asked this to Nora already. How did you feel, and maybe you talked about this already, how did you feel with your workload? Like, as Rob was saying, we're worried about, I mean, teachers have so much on their plate, and you're asked so much of teachers, and climates are changing. And how did you feel? Did you feel like it was an immense amount of workload extra, or were you like, no, it was so worth it? It didn't feel like, more like, how do you feel like it will be for the next teachers in your experience, at least?
Personally, for me, it wasn't much of a workload. It was actually an exciting experience, since we've never done this before. Initially, our correspondence with our sponsors is usually one-on-one emails. So this was a very new thing, and I embrace it wholeheartedly. Maybe the only challenge that we face is, maybe you find some of our students are maybe in boarding. You find from the group, you find like one of the students is maybe in boarding. So when we're doing the call, they may not be available. Other than that, everything else is running very well. And I think if I hand it over to the next case manager, he or she won't even have a hard time doing it. Yeah.
Allow
As our students get older, they go into boarding school. They'll all be in boarding school by 7th grade, right, Nora?
Not necessarily 7th grade, senior school.
Oh, 9th grade then, 9th grade. And then some will be in before, depending on situation. So then things will have to change on our end, how often they can communicate once they're in boarding school, because they only come home during breaks. Boarding school can be anywhere in the country. So they wouldn't be able to necessarily do a Zoom once a month. It would only be once every 3 months, whenever their breaks are. But that's a hill we can climb at another time.
Okay.
Was there any other challenges that the group faced here, or is there anything that we can help with as you think about advancing the program?
I personally thought the amount of correspondences that we had together was a great amount. Like, I never felt like it was a problem to have to do this. And this was one of those things where, for my students and myself, it was easy to find the time, whether you thought you had time or not. Like, this was something very important to them and to me. Even after the first correspondence, they were so excited for the next one. And it can be so widely used. I mean, we could use it for a social studies thing and dive deeper into that. And we could do so many things with it. So it was never something where I was like, oh, when are we going to fit this in? Because the kids just loved doing it. And it was such a great experience for them. Like, just everything about it was a learning experience. So I never felt like, oh, I can't fit this in. This is too much work. So I just thought it was perfect.
Yep, I would echo all of that too. And we were even a little bit squished because we didn't start until the year had already begun. So being able to spread it out over the entire school year, I think will be even better. So even how on a kind of our shortened timeline, it didn't feel overwhelming or like it was too much.
You know, I said it at the beginning, this wouldn't be happening without you guys. Just I thank you for the time, effort, that being thoughtful about this. You know, we were hopeful that this would have a lifelong impact on these students in both countries, and now we're just excited to be able to continue to advance the mission here. So we're excited about continuing to play the right role and to help and support. But again, thank you.
You're welcome. It was a great pleasure to watch this unfold, and I'd also like to add my appreciation for everyone who played their part in bringing this to the students, both in Nairobi and in Ashby.
You know, as this program continues to advance and things come up, you need help, come our way anytime. We're excited about this. I think this is something that can be, I think there's an opportunity to copy this for other schools too, but let's continue to do this the right way. But this feels special.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. This was, of course, the pilot year, your candid feedback in this moment, having everyone together on this call, sharing learnings, opportunities for advancement in the future will be hugely important as we take this on into the next years. And as Rob said, potentially be a model for other communities and schools across Minnesota and the nation. I wanted to thank everyone so much for their time on an early Monday morning, or late Monday for some of our colleagues in Nairobi. This group is committed to advancing the education of both of these students. So as things come up, please don't hesitate to reach out to anyone you see on this call. Share ideas. We're always open as the summer progresses to talk about ways to make this better. So wanted to just thank everyone again. This was such an amazing thing to be a part of, and each of you played such a strong role in having it come to life.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.